صبر کن مامان
الان داره ضبط میکنه. Hi, in this video I want to talk about 3 levels of sexual addiction as explained by Dr. Patrick Carnes in the book Out of the Shadows. Very nice book. I really recommend it for you to read it. The sexual addiction has 3 levels. The first level of sexual addiction is some activities that might be accepted in the society, but if they come to the compulsive usage or compulsive behavior of that activity, they are considered as level 1 sexual addiction problem, for example. Let's say these activities, they have public tolerance and people somehow accept it, but the addict who is involved with them has compulsive tendency towards them or obsession about it. For example, masturbation. If you talk and if you search in the internet, maybe you find many articles that say masturbation is good, there's no problem with it, it is even healthy and all that. While I personally do not believe it at all, but I don't want to talk about it in this video. But masturbation is categorized on the level 1 sexual addiction. Or other activities such as pornography, watching pornography, prostitution, and anonymous sex. These are all categorized and mentioned by Dr. Patrick Carnes. The first level sexual addiction does not bring any serious outcomes or consequences for the person. It's just that people will call them, oh, this person is strange somehow, and is not really accepted. The tolerance is there, but if it is compulsive, people might say, oh, this guy shouldn't do that, right? This is the first level. The second level of sexual addiction involves activities that bring stiff and strong legal sanctions and legal punishments. For example, exhibitionism and voyeurism. People who show their genitals in the society. In most countries it is forbidden, right? So, and the people who look at them see them as kind of pathetic, some kind of crazy person. They say, oh, this guy has problems. What does he or she does that? And it has some fine and punishment in the law. And the third level has really severe legal punishments and consequences, jail or even worse. And it involves rape, incest, violence, and very crazy stuff that you might have seen or you might have heard in different stories, and they are really serious. And the level 3 of sexual addiction does not have any end. As I told in the previous videos, that the characteristic of lust is that it does not have any end. You cannot put an end to the third level sexual addiction, right? So these are the things that you could read in the book as well. But I want to add something to it. The value added information that I put and add to this information in the book is that you might be really careful and aware. You must be really aware that if you watch pornography industry is designed to take the first level sex addict and bring them into the third level sex addiction. No doubt about it. You should, I don't tell that you should. If you experience the pornography, you'll understand that. One night, those days I was living in Malaysia. I was living in my room in it. We had an apartment, 3 rooms, three of us friends. Each of us had our own room, private room. So one night, maybe 2-3 o'clock in the middle of night, I was watching pornography. I didn't want to watch very crazy violence, whatever. I just wanted to watch normal pornography. But here is the important thing. Below the screen, all the thumbnails that invite you to watch all these other videos, below the main video that I was watching, I just scrolled down, I saw a picture of a girl that something crazy was happening to her. I don't want to mention it here. A brutal, satanic stuff has happened to her. And I had never seen this thing before in my life. You know what happened to me? At the same time that I felt a lot of empathy and sadness and pity for the girl, at the same time I felt like vomiting. So I cannot explain this. It's like something crazy happened inside my soul, my thought, and I didn't even believe that this can happen within the sexual context. So I just turned back to the screen. My bed was behind me. I went to the bed, I hugged a pillow, and I cried so hard. At the same time, feel like vomiting. It's like crazy feeling. Why this happened to me? Because when you are a first level sex addict, you just watch, sometimes you want to watch pornography, and it is something really normal. Normalized, not normal, normalized by the pressure of the media. You think many people do it, why not many young people do it? So you are a first level sex addict, but they show you some pictures of the third level. Suddenly they show you something really crazy, brutal, violence that makes you vomit. You feel like vomiting, but you cannot vomit. I mean, at least for me, it was like that. It's like my heart, my soul was hit by something, how to call it, satanic, brutal. It hit my soul. And I hated myself, and I hated the porn industry, and I hated that. Why should I do that? So I self-reveal myself here so that if you are experiencing the same thing, know that if you are in my position, if you sometimes for fun watch pornography, do that, sometimes you masturbate, blah, blah, you should know that you're on the first levels of sexual addiction, and they are dragging you. They take your hand, and step by step they invite you to the second and third level, and to the nowhere, to the hell. The very, very, very end of third level sexual addiction might be, or must be, I don't know, it could be being killed in a very brutal way within the sexual context. Being killed. So this can happen, and you know it happens. You know, in the dark web, I don't invite you to go and search about what is representing in the dark web, but the crazy stuff is happening. The final mission of lust is to get you killed within the lust. While you are involved with lust, sexual lust, your blood should be, you should be teared apart and die in a very satanic and non-spiritual way. This is the final mission of lust. So I recommend you to not masturbate, even if it is called and is mentioned as a normal, healthy, no problem activity. BS. Don't do it. I have a lot of things to tell you. In other videos, I'll talk about marriage and the sex, the pleasure of sex that you can experience in marriage that you can never experience in open and liberal relationships, in the sexual relationships. Uncomparable. I was having a look at a paper yesterday in one of the sexual journals that they had a test on many people, that they said the homosexual marriages, those people who have the homosexual marriages, they show the signs of depression a lot more, mental discomfort compared to those who have opposite sex marriages. So this is the topic of another video. So please, I tell you about myself. I used to watch porn, and this happened to me, and at the end of the day, thanks to my God, I could quit. Not only quit, I experienced abstinence of sexual activities and abstinence from all kinds of lust for 3 years in Malaysia. Can you believe that? Can you believe this can happen to a human? Total abstinence. No pornography, no masturbation, no voyeurism. Look at the other people, sexualized people in the street. Not even chatting with the girls in order to get something, to involve emotionally and a little bit of with the flavor of sexual attraction, to talk with the girls. I wanted to put even my feelings clean from anything that is even close to relationships, even healthy relationships. I put even that in the abstinence. I don't want to make you a monk or invite you to be a monk, but I want to say that This is possible to live in a country like Malaysia, which is different from my own country, Iran. In Iran, thanks to God, we have so many thanks to God, thanks to God, thanks to God, we have limitations, and you are not allowed to do whatever you want in the street. But in other countries like Malaysia, all the countries in the world, there is something called freedom, which is you are free to go to hell. The freedom is there for you to bring yourself to go to the hell, and is in the journey. The freedom is made for you. The freedom is a fraud actually. The freedom is made for you to step by step go to the first and second and third level of sexual addiction. This is called freedom. So in the country like Malaysia, or all the countries in the world, which is you can see club, disco, prostitution legally or sometimes illegally. The alcohol is sold in the 7-Eleven shops. You can buy beers and alcohol. In my country, Iran, thanks to God, it is not like that. Many of the things might happen in the basement, in the behind the scenes, but it is not allowed in the public, thanks to God, because it protects you from falling into the sexual cycle, an addiction cycle, different addiction cycles, drugs, alcohol, and all that. So I love my country, and I want to say that in the country that is open, any other countries in the world is more or less like that. You can live in a country that's totally freedom is there, but you can experience abstinence. And the topic of another video will be how abstinence and say no to the pleasure and not worshiping the pleasure, will bring a lot of spirituality for you. The next video will be about worshiping the pleasure. We are trained as the slaves of this system to worship the pleasure, to worship the pleasure, the instant enjoyment that I'll explain for you in the next video. Thank you very much. See you later. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe, and if you feel there is someone who needs this information, you feel like that person, guy or girl, whatever, needs help in controlling their lust and their compulsiveness in the sexual field, please introduce them my channel, my videos. Take care and bye.